a cooperative card game, a team bonding experience co-funded by the Erasmus+. Peace Please is a debate-based card game meant for team bonding experience. The game introduces organizations to a culture of peace, which lets the players discuss problems that can be experienced in the game's 8 areas of challenges and possible responses to them. Peace Please offers an alternative to the culture of war and violence and to the culture of business as usual, with a fun, humane, and non-violent approach to problem-solving in working environments. Game requirements to play. 1. There must be 3 to 6 players per game. 2. Everyone must be 18 and over to play. 3. Each game lasts roughly half an hour. Game elements. There are 3 types of cards. 16 challenge cards with 8 areas of the culture of peace. 64 action cards with 3 different types of resolution approaches. And 8 panic cards. Game setup. First, the challenge cards must be separated from the action cards and the panic cards. The challenge cards are placed in the middle of the table face up. 1 panic card and 3 action cards are distributed to each player at random. By the end of the handout, each player must hold 4 cards in their hands. The rest of the action and the panic cards are placed in a pile face down. Now, the players must decide who will start the round and in what order they will take turns, either clockwise or counterclockwise. How to play. Every turn has 5 different phases, so let's see. First, a player draws a challenge card and places it in the middle of the table face up and reads it out loud for everybody to hear. Now, each player must choose only 1 action or 1 panic card from the 4 held ones, which makes sense for the challenge. Action cards are put face up, while panic cards are put face down and are acted out, but we'll talk more about that later. Then, the players collectively discuss and decide which 2 action or panic cards from the proposed would make the best strategy to overcome the challenge. The leftover action and panic cards are discarded in a separate pile. The 2 chosen cards are used to tell a story of how the challenge is overcome. Action cards are turned over to see if they have enough points to overcome the challenge card. From here on, there are 2 possible scenarios. A. The action has an equal or higher number than the challenge, and thus the challenge is overcome. Along with the action panic cards, the solved pile is kept in front of the player whose turn it was. Or B. If the sum of the points is lower than the challenge number, those cards alongside the challenge card are left in the middle until the next player draws the next challenge card. After checking the points, players must also check the shapes around the points. If there's a triangle shape on the action panic cards which are on the table, then the player who has played this card cannot contribute with their action card during the next turn. At the end of the turn, every player refills their hand with an action panic card from the draw pile. In the event where the players couldn't solve the previous challenge, they draw a new challenge card and also place it in the middle of the table. However, in this round, the 2 action cards that are chosen must have a sum of points that are enough to cover both the new challenge card and the leftover challenge. When all players complete their turn, the round ends. A round finishes when all players have drawn a challenge card during their turn and the group has either overcome it or kept it, and the game finishes. Winning or losing condition. For a group of players to win, they must have overcome at least 3 challenges from different areas of culture. The group of players loses when they have accumulated 3 unsolved challenges. Explanation of the cards. Let's take a comprehensive look at the different types of cards that the game has to offer. Challenge cards. There are 2 challenge cards for each area of the culture of peace, which includes core concepts and values, teamwork and cooperation, decision-making, communication and sharing information, conflict navigation, respect for human rights, impact and interconnection, equality and representation. Action cards. All action cards have a number to indicate their impact on the challenge. The action cards also have 3 different symbols, which represent different types of reactions and responses. Both are printed at the back of the card and can be discovered with a magnifying glass. Shapes include the circle, which indicates a response that will cultivate a culture of peace, the square, which indicates not very effective actions, and the triangle, which indicates harmful long-term repercussions to the solution. However, short-term might address the challenge, and therefore sometimes they have enough points to do so. Panic cards. The panic cards are here to lighten up the mood and show that some reactions to stressful situations may be ineffective, but they are also human. If a player chooses to play out a panic card, they put it on the table face down, without reading it out loud. The player must then act out what is written on the card. There are no points assigned to these cards, but other players can value the action and can decide whether the card holds 1, 2, or 3 points that can be added to the total sum of the other action cards. Depending on the performance of the player,